Today you are going to be exploring magnets using a tool called Littlebits. This is a book from our Makerspace section of the library. So today, after you have explored Littlebits, you might decide that you want to learn more about them. So Littlebits are these little pieces that have different colors on them. And you'll notice when you look at them up close that each piece has a word on it. And that word tells you what that little bit's job is. And if you look at a little bit closely, you'll see that it has two silver circles on each end. Those silver circles are actually magnets. And we know that magnets only connect together a certain way. So if we have two poles that are the same, like two north poles or two south poles trying to connect together, we know that a magnet will repel. But if it's a south pole and a north pole, then those magnets will attract. So when you take a little bit and you start to push those little circles together, you'll notice probably how these are kind of dancing back and forth because they are actually repelling each other. They are not sticking together. So if I turn this around, it actually connects because we know now that those are south and north poles connecting together. So with Littlebits, you have to connect the correct poles together. They only connect in one way. And when you connect them together, they work together. They do their jobs together. And so here's how we're all going to start. You're all going to have this blue piece, and you might be sharing your blue piece with someone else at your table because we don't have enough for every person to have their own. So you will have a battery, and you will have a power cord. And your very first step is going to be to connect your power cord, and you'll probably notice that this power cord has a big circle and a little circle, and the battery has a big circle and a little circle. So just like with magnets, you have to put them in the opposite. So the big circle on here goes onto the little circle on here, and then you snap them down so that it's connected. Then you take your cord and you're going to plug it into your power. Now you probably saw right away that a red light came on. There is a switch right here. So if I flip that switch back and forth, I'm turning my power on or off. And of course, for your Littlebits to work, you have to have your power on. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pink. This pink is called an input. That means that the power from this battery is going to go into this pink piece. This pink piece is called a dimmer. So you can make a prediction right now of what you think a dimmer might do. Do you know what the word dim means, or dimmer? And that might give you a clue what this device does. So just like we talked about earlier, I'm going to connect it together so that the right poles are connected. And now my dimmer is connected. Does it look like anything's happening? If I twist this, nothing's really happening, right? The reason nothing's happening is because this pink piece is called an input. So it needs something else to go with it. It needs something called an output. So the power is going into the input, but it needs to come out something else. That something else is one of the green pieces. So you're going to have lots of different pink pieces to choose from, and you're also going to have lots of different green pieces to choose from. So lots of inputs and lots of outputs. Now watch what happens when I connect this together. Now I encourage you to do it kind of slowly so you can feel the magnets either connect or repel. You probably see there's a light on, right? So what happens now if I twist this knob? Do you See something happening to the light? So it's getting brighter. And if I turn it this way, it's getting dimmer. So now you probably know what a dimmer does. It allows the power to come through stronger to make the light brighter, or I can turn it down so that it's not getting as much power and the light is dim or completely off. So it's kind of like the knob you may have in your car to turn the volume up or down on your music that you're listening to in the car. All right? So, in a moment, you're going to sit down at a table and you're going to have a box of stuff in front of you. And so by yourself or with someone else at your table, you're going to need to first, remember, get your power all connected together. It should look like this. And then you can try connecting a pink and a green. Once you do that and you figure out how it works, try something different. Choose a different pink, or choose a different green, or choose a different pink and a different green. You might even try connecting more than one thing together to see what happens. But the important thing is to explore magnets, but also not to get frustrated if something doesn't work. Just take it apart and try again with something different, or work with someone at your table to figure it out. At the end of your time together today, you're going to help put all the stuff back in the box in front of you so that we don't lose any of these pieces, because we love to use these in our library and we need to help take care of them. Again, if you are interested in Littlebits, you could read more about them in this book that is in our Makerspace section of